There's no place like home, says Dorothy, right, in The Wizard of Oz. I can't wait to get home, we might say after we've been in the hospital. Or I've really enjoyed my vacation, but I'm really looking forward to sleeping in my own bed, in my own home. Have you ever had this sense of being away from home, from your family, where your heart literally aches to be back home? Some of you that have served in the military have shared those kinds of stories about the ache that comes in your heart when you're separated from your loved ones. Or some of you have found that your job took you to live in a place that you've never been before. Or as many in our congregation this week, our college students have been going back to school, and some of them are freshmen, and it's the first time that they're away for a significant amount of time from their families. Have you ever had that feeling that your soul, your very soul, longed to be back home? A place where you feel safe, the place where everyone knows your name, the place where you don't have to pretend, the place where people love you for who you are. Today's reading from Psalm 84, as you heard, is a poetic account of the experience of a pilgrim or a traveler who is approaching Jerusalem for a religious festival. And the psalmist cannot wait, as he describes the pilgrim's journey, that the pilgrim cannot wait, the traveler cannot wait until they arrive at the temple and have that special experience of God. You know, the temple was beautiful, as we read in the scriptures, but that's not why the pilgrim is traveling to Jerusalem. There are places that are set apart. There are special places in our lives and in the world where it's a sacred place, a holy ground, we say, where we experience God in a new way or in a special way. And the traveler, the pilgrim, longs to have that special experience of God. The pilgrim is on this journey not to see some kind of beauty in the temple, not because the temple has pretty carpet or beautiful stained glass windows or even the best organ and organist in all of the world. The pilgrim is traveling to Jerusalem not just to be at the temple, but to be in the presence of other believers, to be in community, to be surrounded by other persons of faith. It's a place to experience the living God in the midst of the worshiping community. Many of you have been to Jerusalem, and you know that to this day, millions of people make the journey to Jerusalem, to what's left of the temple, which is just a wall of stones that we know as the Western Wall of the temple. And they're not going to worship the wall or the stones. People are going there to pray in that special place with other believers who have come to pray to the living God. On Friday, many of us gathered for the life celebration of Robbie Johnson. The Church of the Brethren was filled with people who made the journey from all over. And people came not because of the service being in a building, but people came because it was to experience together what it means to care and love and support one another in a time of loss. We make the journey to this place, to this building, not because it's beautiful, even though it is. We come to this place because we experience God in a different way than we do anywhere else on our life journey. On Christmas Eve, the musicians will tell you, it can be a little challenging to play or sing in this place on Christmas Eve. You know why? Because people are coming home. The church is filled with people who have come from other places where they live now to reconnect with family, or our college students have come home for Christmas break, and the place is just filled with joyous sounds of reunions because this is a place of meeting or of gathering. This is a place where we sense God's presence in this community, and we know that it's been a safe place where we can cry with each other and laugh with each other and celebrate births and grieve losses. This is sacred ground and different from other places. And some of you know that when we go to Franklinton Center, which we know is another sacred place, when we get to the grounds and we meet Vivian Lucas, the executive director, what does she say?
Welcome home.
Welcome home. Welcome home. Because we know that it's a place set aside, a sacred place to experience God. You and I know that God doesn't live in the building, or God doesn't live wherever building we may happen to be in, but that God dwells with us in every place. But we need these special places, these places that are set apart as havens, as sanctuaries, as reminders of the power and the presence of God. We call this place our church home. And we call this group of gathered people many times our church family. And we travel here week after week after week to be in a place with people that we know and love, to be set apart, a place where we can experience God's love and grace and forgiveness. The poet Robert Frost has said, "Home is where, when you go there, they have to take you in." The psalm tells us that everyone is welcome in God's dwelling place. Everyone is welcome in the love of God. Even the birds, even the sparrows find a resting place. And the birds are so happy, the birds are singing. We know that God dwells with us wherever we are. And we know that wherever we are on a journey, God is with us. So no wonder we love to say with others in the United Church of Christ that no matter where you are and who you are and where you have been on life's journey, you are welcome here. Thanks be to God. Amen.